Oh, welcome to Uco Lights again. I'm Sean. Ooh, lot to get into. Right, so presser just done, and then Leeds officially announced Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And here we go. Add to the stage. Here we go. Dominic Calvert-Lewin signs for the Whites. And I'll just read this for you. Leeds United bolstered their attacking options with the sign of England international Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who joins the club after a long spell in the Premier League with Everton. The 28-year-old has signed a 3-year deal at Ellen Road, and after putting pen to paper on the contract, he exclusively told LUTV of his delight in joining Daniel Farke's side. He said, "I am really excited." The forward said former White Star Jermaine Beckford, it was like two. Sorry, say that again. I'm really excited. The forward said to former White Star Jermaine Beckford, obviously interviewing him, "It's like walking in today like a first day at school. I feel like a kid again. That is just starting somewhere new and just can't wait to play and represent the football club. For me, it is a massive football club with a massive fan base. I have played at Ellen Road before, and I just remember thinking how loud the fans were and how good the fans were. It is something that I really, really wanted to be part of. I also spoke with the manager prior to this, and we had a really good conversation, and he was a centre forward himself. So he was just explaining how the life of a centre forward is, and he gave me a feeling of a lot of understanding, and it made me really excited to work with him as well. And just the way that the team set up and the way we set up last season was really attractive for me. I have been in the Premier League for a while now, so I think people are pretty familiar with my game, but I also think there are other aspects to my game that I can bring that I maybe haven't brought enough of. I am looking forward to unlocking that and continuing the things that I am good at, but also bringing new aspects and new facets to my game. So I'm looking forward to just seeing Ellen Road in full force through a different lens, as a Leeds player." There you go. So, tactics-wise, is his game going to suit our tactics? We mentioned this yesterday, as admin, about the wing-backs getting forward, putting the balls in, a bit like his time with Ancelotti at Everton. Obviously had a good conversation with Daniel Farke, and he's not looking like he's thinking like he's the complete player. He knows there's going to be aspects of his game to improve on. At 28-year-old, can he? We'll see. Maybe Daniel Farke can maybe get a little bit more out of a Dominic Calvert-Lewin than he has these past few seasons with Everton. But yeah, it's over the line and it's done. Hopefully he'll be in the squad versus Everton, which would be a great option for us. Right. Presser. Okay. They go on for ages, don't they? But it was nice to have this presser back. The first presser of his Premier League season starting. And yeah, let's get into what was said. So, Daniel Farke, happy that we've got a few extra days to prepare. Obviously, we don't play until Monday night, 8 o'clock, under the lights at Ellen Road. Was asked, obviously, about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He did say signing today, and there you go. It has happened straight after. A proven Premier League player, saying that they are looking at signing players who have delivered in the Premier League. Yeah, he has. He has scored goals in the Premier League. He's had some good performances. Want to sign players on the way up and not down. Yeah, okay. He's got all the skills as a striker that a striker needs, and obviously what he's just said there, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, there are things that he needs to improve on. He did touch on, obviously, he still did play 26 times last season. Now, he then did say, obviously, he's coming to the club. He wants to revive his career. Now, is that contradicting himself a little bit? If Daniel Farke is saying we're looking at players who are on the up, but yet we're signing a player who's looking to revive his career, whose probably career was on the downward spiral a little bit. So a bit of contradiction there. He does need to build his fitness and his confidence and get back into the rhythm of obviously playing, full 90 minutes basically, and consistency of games. Then obviously asked about Jack Harrison. We knew this was going to come again. He's a proven Premier player, good age, hardworking, blah blah blah. Then he talked obviously about time when Aronson came back last season, coming back into the club, obviously having to prove a point, and he just got his head down and worked hard, and the fans welcomed or have welcomed Brendan Aronson back into the club. He said the players on Jack Harrison, the players have welcomed him back, but it is up to him to win the fans back, and it is, it sounds to me, unless something drastically happens, Jack Harrison is staying with us. That may change if we do get another left winger in there. But it is up to him. It's all about performances, and he's going to have to accept the booing for now, as long as it don't go too far. But we do still have to get, behind the team. Team news. This was an interesting for me on Bogle. Obviously, he touched on that. He's been out for the last 2.5 weeks. But good news is that he was back in training on Wednesday. He obviously did have good fitness levels before he got injured, so his fitness levels are still there. But they're going to see how his body reacts to obviously training in the next few days. Asked about whether players will be leaving before Monday. No players will be leaving before Monday. I can't see that either. Not with obviously a game coming up so soon. Then was asked, do you feel backed? Now, yeah, he did. He said, obviously, we've bought well in the defensive positions and the midfield. I think we can all agree with that. They do need another fullback. Now, I don't know why I wasn't asked about James Justin, but obviously, he's probably the fullback option he is talking about. And strengthening in the offensive position, again, it's something we know we need to do. There is still business to be done, he said. Obviously, though, they've got to be careful with what they spend, PSR. Okay. They don't want to do anything crazy financially. They're not going to overspend. We know this. They're not going to do anything that's going to, put the club into financial issues. But they've still got to make sure they have the best squad available. But he said they want to spend smart, and hopefully by the end of the transfer window, they'll have the squad needed to obviously pick up the points. Went on to the game versus Everton. Now, did say they want to be successful as they can in the game. Obviously, they want 3 points. You go into every game wanting to win. And they said at the back of their minds, they know they need to pick up the points. They don't need to be putting too much pressure on themselves to affect, that's going to affect their performance. Not such early stage of the season either. Maybe try go out there, enjoy it, but the points are important, especially in this game, and obviously with the games coming up against Arsenal and Newcastle. Need to make Ellen Road a fortress. He touched on that. It's important to pick up points at home. I agree with this, especially as a newly promoted team. He talked about fans, obviously not to have too much high expectation, pressure on players. I think this is important as well. We don't need to be putting too much pressure on the players. We need to be the 12th man. And Daniel Farke, he agreed with that. Asked about another striker. Right. Doesn't want too big a squad. We know this. He said he's got 3 strikers already, plus Harry Gray, but wouldn't rule it out. Obviously, he knows about Calvert-Lewin's injury issues, also Nemecha's injury history. So I wouldn't rule out another striker coming into the squad, which is good for me. I did say I want another striker in. They do need more quality up top, especially losing a player like Solomon. So he touched on Manuel Solomon, off that left-hand side. Big miss, obviously, while we've gone out trying to sign like an Igor Pajal. The club are trying to build the best possible squad to get the points needed to stay in the Premier League. Then asked about a new winger. He's optimistic and confident, but you never know what can happen. Business will be done when it's done. He don't really like to put his hat fully, does he, on something? But being optimistic and confident, that'll do for me. I do think we will get somebody in too. Asked, how do we plan to stay up? Now, obviously, the last 6 teams promoted have been relegated. So he said everything has to be spot on. The squad build, consistency is key. Consistency in performances is key. What he did say is he don't want to talk the talk. He don't want to go, there isn't a blueprint. There's no blueprint to go off. He don't want to talk the talk. He wants to walk the walk. Obviously, Premier League is the toughest league in the world. Then asked about his time at Norwich. I sort of switched off a little bit about that. Blabbered on about Norwich. Then sort of converted that back to Leeds United. Obviously, he came to Leeds as a manager, wanted to bring Leeds back to the Premier League. Now it's his job now to establish them as a Premier League club, which is what we all want. It's going to be hard work. The club have got to work hard, and we've got to be ambitious as well. In his transfers, basically. So that was it for the presser. So I liked what I heard. I did like the facts. We are looking at maybe getting another striker in. I do like the sound of that. It does show that we are aware, obviously of the injury histories of certain players. Don't want to risk it. So I'd love us to get obviously full-back cover, left winger, and a striker, another 3, and that'd be a good transfer window for me. Woo! So let's look at Everton now. Just bear with me 2 minutes. David Moyes, I see he has come in. He's done well. He did turn the fortunes round last season, David Moyes, and I just wanted to touch on his tactical style. Now, what I like about David Moyes is he's very flexible in his tactics depending on who plays. He does the switches between a 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-1-1, even a 5-4-1. This can also be a 3-4-1-2, especially in playing a team like probably us, as it was going to set up as a 4-3-3, may actually see Everton line up as a 5 at the back or 3 at the back with wing backs. Now it does say here it does like to have that little bit of extra cover as a centre back. So sometimes it's a bit like ourselves, a midfielder will drop slightly to make it into a back 3. It says that it sort of morphs into a 5-2-3 formation, and then in transition it converts into a 4-3-3 in the build-up phases. Moyes, he emphasises on discipline, work rate, and transition speed. Leverage fullbacks like obviously Mykolenko and O'Brien for width and attack support. If I look at their squad, not that one, not that one, not that one. Okay, here we go. Apologies, guys. There we go. Sorted. Okay, so if you can see that there, this is the squad, Everton's squad. Pickford, Travis, the goalkeepers. Harry Taylor, he's also the third goalkeeper there. They have got Jake O'Brien, Seamus Coleman, right back. Michael Keane's still at the club, although I thought he was going to leave. Tarkowski. Now, they have got some injuries. Apologies there. Jarrad Brentwaite is out for this game, which is a big loss for them. Also, you look there, Mykolenko is a loss for them too. Looks like new signing, Asnu, the left back, 19-year-old left back, will probably start in this game. Then you move up into the midfield. Good signings there. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, we all know what he's about. great signing there from Chelsea. Idris Gana Gay, who's just recently signed a new contract in that midfield. James Garner, he's a decent player as well. Then we've got obviously Dwight McNeil, we've moved down there. Carlos Alcaraz, who was on loan last season, he's signed permanently for him. And Daye, who's a decent player. Big one there, Jack Grealish, coming in on loan from Manchester City. Could be a permanent signing next season for 50 million. Now, not sure, depending on what formation, where Jack Grealish will play. There's talk of him playing in the 10 role, more central role, rather than out wide. Then they've got the two strikers there in Beto and Thurno Barry, who's a highly rated player. Obviously, we know about Beto with him being linked as selves. If I look at the transfers, obviously players in, obviously Jack Grealish there, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, Adam Asnu, who I've just said the young left back from Bayern Munchen. Mark Travers, obviously the second goalkeeper, backup goalkeeper coming in from Bournemouth, and there we go, Thurno Barry and Carlos Alcaraz. Barry signing from Villarreal, Alcaraz from Flamengo. Players actually going out, and notable there, obviously Ashley Young finally leaving. Joey Virginia, Asmir Begovic, who, I like him, decent goalkeeper. Big one there, Decore, now leaving on a loan. That was a big loss for them, but obviously replace them in that midfield now with Dewsbury Hall. Mason Holgate as well, another player leaving. And then there we go, Krellin and our now new striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It does also say there Michael Keane, but it isn't. He is actually at the club. So I think we're gonna line up 4-3-3. Perry in goal, right back now. Bogle, is it too soon? I would like to think, I'm quite optimistic Bogle will start against Everton. Joe Rodon is going to start in the central defence with Pascal Struijk. Obviously, Bijol is suspended for this game. Goodmanson at left back. It's going to be a 4-3-3 of Ampadu, Tanaka and Stack for me. I also think we'll be seeing Pirro starting with Dan James and Willie Nonto on that left-hand side. It will be interesting to see the bench. Obviously, the James Justin, I don't know if we can get this one over the line if the reports are true in time for this game. So, you can obviously see the likes of Sambaram, Ramazani, Nemecha. It's possibly now Calvert-Lewin. That'd be nice to see Calvert-Lewin on the bench as well. Gruev, excuse me. Longstaff, players like this now. So the squad is there. Bit concerning regarding, I don't know if Benau's back. There was nothing he didn't say about Benau being back. So hopefully he's back in the squad as well, just for that centre-back cover, obviously with Bijol missing. Score-wise, I am going to actually go for a 2-1 win for Leeds United. When I first saw that fixture, I did actually, it was my first thought, 2-1 Leeds United, home win. It's important we do get some 3 points for me. Looking at the games coming up, it's important we actually get points on the board. And it's doable. It is doable. So we will see. But yeah, so excited about this game. I can't wait for this Premier League season to start. And let's hope we get that 3 points. So that's it for me today. I am again on Late Night Leeds tonight with Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds and Adam. Jump on over 10 p.m. tonight. Come join us there. Please like this video. Please consider subscribing. Getting me to 700 would be fantastic. And I will speak to you soon. Cheers.